How do you see the US SAF price comparing to Europe, and where will the arbitrage flows be?
Do you want me to start and then you can add whatever I miss?
You're not
I
going to
think
miss anything.
I love this. I love this question. So we're still working on the pricing in Europe, um, but I think it's going to be a lot more complicated than just price because we also obviously have a spoiler. We have a huge producer that's importing into the US. They could have some challenges coming up with the 45Z tax credits, but I don't think they're insurmountable. I think what we're more going to see is we're going to see shifting trade flows, especially with the mandates as those come up, and we see maybe not enough production coming along in Europe. So if Europe has the demand, they're willing to pay more. I think we could see some shifting flows just going towards that demand. We also in the US, it's very interesting. We have one producer already on the Gulf Coast, really easy export. We have at least one more that's planned. These are also big producers, and they've brilliantly located their facilities where it's very easy export to Europe. So I think they could shift their production US to Europe based on the demand of what people are willing to pay. And I saw just yesterday the EU is recommending the penalty for not complying with the SAF requirements to be almost $30 a gallon. So if the member states put that into effect, the airlines are going to be pretty motivated to do what they can to get those gallons.
I think it captured most of it. I think the one part probably in terms of which way the arb will flow will depend a lot on what Wendy was just talking about and who gets their mandates or sort of programs or policy support, however you want to look at it, or penalties kind of up first, and then what those look like relative to each other. And arbs are always complicated and not necessarily as straightforward as sort of what's the price of this here versus what's the price of that there. And I think this will definitely be that kind of situation. That said, I think that it does sort of harken back to kind of it. You literally are producers will be very aware of which markets at which time offer the most policy support, and that's where the SAF will flow.
I agree with Wendy and Tori. I don't think it's a coincidence that we're seeing SAF production ramp up at the tail end of 2024 ahead of a 2025 mandate in Europe. Policy is going to drive the trade flows, and policy is going to have the big influence on price.